Hello, so I wanted to take you through my 5 top tips for academic presentations. The first one is fairly straightforward: keep it simple. Essentially, by changing the font size or making certain words or phrases bold, will give you your audience a clear message that you want to get across. The most important thing to remember is not to include every single thing from your speaker notes onto the slide. You are not insulting people if you keep it simple and clear. However, you will start to annoy people if you continue to read everything off the slide, as obviously most people should be able to read for themselves. So, the most important tip number one is keep it simple, keep the text clear, and think about the one main message or two main messages you want to portray or get across on that slide. My second tip is to use images well. In this example, I've given you some really cute pictures of polar bears next to the fact that a polar bear's paw or polar bear's paws are very big. This has no context, and the image doesn't actually give or lend itself much to your presentation. It doesn't support your argument. However, if you choose an image more carefully, for example, this one, a polar bear's paw is very big, and you've actually got a human hand next to it to give you context, then that obviously changes completely your message that you're trying to get across on that slide. So use images well is my second tip. Tip 3, visual data can be very powerful. Here I've included a really interesting GIF from the Washington Post published in 2017. And essentially this GIF shows every upcoming solar eclipse and its path that it will take across the shadow that will travel across the Earth up until 2080. I thought this was quite a nice moving image option that you can include. Obviously, it doesn't have to be a GIF. You can include really important graphs as well as they're clear and easy to interpret. If they're not clear and easy to interpret, then one of your jobs as part of that slide will be to present to your audience and actually interpret it for them, making sure that they understand what is on the X and the Y axes. Don't include a graph or data that you're not going to refer to on the slide. Otherwise, it just becomes confusing and rather pointless. Tip number 4 is not to use too many slides in your presentation. When you'll set a presentation, especially in class, you're probably limited to only 5 or 10 minutes. You do not need more than a slide per minute, maybe even a slide per 2 minutes. So try and limit the number of slides you need to use. If you're using too many, you think it's too many, it's probably that your message isn't clear and you haven't thought about what you want to get across to your audience. And finally, number 5, for an academic presentation, you must cite your sources. You should use for science either the Harvard referencing system or the numeric referencing system. Whichever referencing system you use, you need to be consistent, and you should really include footnotes at the bottom of any images, any data, any text that isn't your own, and you need to make sure that you refer to that as you are presenting that data or text. Thanks for listening.